Ciao, benvenuti, and welcome back to our channel, Move to Italy Now. Today we're going to be talking about how and why we left the United States to move to Italy. Now let's just set the scene. We had a beautiful home with a lake view. We pretty much did whatever we wanted to do throughout the day because we had our own business. Um, I loved where we lived because not only did we have the lake view, but we had these wonderful hills in the background and lots of trees, lots of open space. It felt like we were in the country. Yet we were only 5 minutes away from all the shopping. That would be, from clothing to grocery stores to everything that we needed to do, mechanics, everything. So we had the best of both worlds, in my opinion. We drove beautiful automobiles, and it really was the home of my dream with lots of windows to the outside view, and my family. We were close to the family, so it was really a beautiful location, and we had the life of our dreams. But something was missing.
Yeah, something was missing. I might add too that we were in that home for 8 years together too.
Yeah.
There's a daughter. Yeah, so we want to do something meaningful with our life. And as we had mentioned early on in the channel, that we had seen the issue in Europe with English-speaking immigrants coming over from the African continent. And they were literally risking their lives to come over just to get into Europe for a better quality of life. And we felt that we could make an impact by helping them to learn Christian principles in their lives and really have a better quality of life with just a little bit of coaching.
It was something that really, really touched our hearts.
Yeah, it did.
And it was something that it felt impactful, just the idea of helping people that really needed that.
And so this is something we really wanted to do. Now, was it something that we should do? We gave it a lot of thought. We talked about it for months and months and months, prayed about it. We really wanted to do the right thing here. And it was very funny how things worked out. The challenge was going to be we were going to have to sell our home, business, personal belongings, and so on. That's a huge challenge.
But there was something that helped us with that challenge, remember?
What's that?
We could see that there were certain doors that were closing.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
thinking.
others that were opening.
Right.
And it was really an answer to our prayers. It's funny, sometimes you just have to open your eyes and be still,
Yeah.
to really see the direction that life
Very true.
is leading you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. When some doors open, that's great. But at the same time, when you see doors closing behind you, wow, this was clearly the direction we needed to take. So then how do we pull it off?
So we decided to take action. We put our house on the market, our home on the market. And in very short order, we found a buyer. Now, this buyer wasn't just any buyer. She loved our home. She loved it so much that she wanted not only the home, but the furniture, the beds, the linen, the everything. She wanted everything. And it was perfect for us because think about it. The cost of moving all these things from one end of the world to the next, and
Not worth it.
it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, we could, if we were starting over, we were starting over.
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
We were.
So it was the perfect circumstance for us.
We got actually more than our asking price. It all worked out very, very well for.
It did, but there were circumstances that prevented her from actually buying it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to decide, was this a risk that we were willing to take? So it was we chose to take this risk on her, but it was calculated. And because CJ was such a great negotiator, and not just a great negotiator, but you were able to really put deals together where a lot of realtors
had to be creative.
didn't have that. A lot of them didn't have the ability. Not all realtors are this way, but
for most of them.
So
Yeah, so anyway, it worked out so perfectly for us that I ended up returning 4 months later to sign the paperwork, but we did very well with that. We could see that we were making the right decision. So long story short, here we are, was it July 25th, 2019. We're heading to the airport with 7 pieces of luggage, huge luggage. Remember that?
oh, wait a minute. I think you forgot.
No, wait, no, wait, hold on. Okay, so this is the thing. The day that we're supposed to meet her and give her the keys. Now, Gia was completely down with this. She was completely on board. However, and I must preface this by saying Gia is not a crier. I rarely see her cry. But when we passed the house, I had to stop and we had to give her the keys, and then we were leaving for the airport. All of a sudden, she broke down and just sobbed.
Like a baby, like a baby.
Yeah.
But and it was difficult. It was like, because this is a place that we built a life together, where we raised our daughter together. We had memories. We took vacations. We came back home. We had our coffee on the deck.
It was our life.
It was our life, and we really enjoyed the life that we created there. And so when it was time to go, the new owner was actually circling.
Every 10 minutes you could see,
her
loop of a few miles.
She was very excited to come in, and we were
Yeah.
excited to go, but at the same time, the pressure of everything culminating emotionally was a lot.
Yeah, so if ever there was a time where I had a doubt as to whether we were doing the right thing, it was that day. The day we were actually flying out. Yeah, that was tough. That was really tough dealing with that. I thought, oh, what have I done, you know? But long story short, I think that if we had really thought and calculated every little thing and didn't just trust, we may not even have pulled the trigger on this, you know?
That's a life lesson, I think.
Mhm,
You
I
know,
agree.
because you know, you do want to calculate the cost and you want to be strategic. But I find that in life, if you overthink, at some point you have to let go and let the process happen. Because if you overthink things, you can talk yourself out of a beautiful future.
Yeah.
Hope
So
that helps somebody.
yeah, I hope so. Well, so here's our journey now from California to Europe. So a few days later, we boarded the plane for Brindisi, and here we are at the Brindisi airport. And there were a lot more challenges. So our adventure had really only just begun. Believe me, almost immediately we faced challenges that, well, stay tuned for part 2.
And we think that you're going to want to see part 2. And hopefully you loved part 1 like we love telling it. But we look forward to seeing you. Till the next time. Alla prossima.
Ciao.
Ciao. If you like this video, please be sure to share it with your loved ones or your friends, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video.
See you next time.
Ciao.